I arrived at the farm early, just after sunrise. A local tribe of buzzards decided to camp overnight in the safety of the large oak trees here. This morning I'm packing 4 fish up to send to San Antonio, Texas. 3 showas and 1 Yamabuki Ogon. These 2 are Nisai and siblings. This is also a Nisai sibling that was kept in a smaller tank over the summer. Notice the leading edge ray of the pecs, an early indicator of good sheen of skin in the future. This is the Yamabuki Ogon, likely my favorite koi type outside of Sanke. The differences between excellent Yamabukis and average Yamabukis can be subtle, and can go unnoticed by many. There are yellow metallic koi, and then there are outstanding Yamabuki Ogons, with excellent body shape, precisely aligned scales from shoulder to tail, with glistening fukurin skin between each scale, with clean and even coloration across the face and head, and across the body to the tail. Here are some tips for transporting and shipping koi you may get some use out of. When I pack koi for travel anywhere, I always double bag with new 4mm plastic bags. Bags are cheap, compared to the potential damage from leaks. I add 4 to 6 gallons of pond water to each bag and quickly wipe away any spilled water. This is not something I'm recommending, just showing as part of my procedure. I personally dip each fish in a salt bath at a mixture of 4 cups of rock-type salt per 10 gallons of water. The fish is placed in the dip for 20 to 30 seconds, and then quickly out. Then it is placed in the bag for shipping. I find the salt dip cleans the fish and reduces or eliminates any parasites before shipping. Next, the bag is ready for oxygen. An oxygen container is a handy tool for any level hobbyist. This is a 40 cubic foot container. You can pick these up or refill them at any local welding supply house. A canister this size will cost you about $200 with the regulator, and refills are about $14. You can also get a smaller 20 cubic foot unit or larger units. Always use thick new rubber bands. They're cheap. Next, I place the oxygen nozzle into the inner bag, then push all of the air out of the bag so we can fill the bag with pure oxygen. Then grab the bag in tightly and pull out all the bag edges so there are no leaks. Then twist the bag tightly and fold it over into a U shape and loop on the rubber bands, 2 per bag. Can you tell how cold it is outside? Look at my fingers. Ow. This method of closing the bag allows you to just pull on the U-shaped loop to open the bag when you're ready to release the fish. Then the outer bag is sealed the same way, and the boxes are ready to go to the airport. Since 9/11, the airlines now require all boxes to stay open for inspection before they are shipped, so I'll close them with tape at the Delta Cargo Terminal later. Back at the farm, a client has asked to see some photos of Tosai, Tancho Sankes, and Utsuris, so I pull several up for inspection. The first thing I do is look over the whole basket, then look closely at each individual fish, and evaluate them for future potential or future problems. This one looks like it's bumped its head. There seems to be a little bit of a bruise in the center of the Tancho, but it really isn't an issue. At this age of 7 months, these fish are all still very young, so I'm really just looking for obvious flaws. The placement of sumi will change, and the shape of the Tancho pattern will change over the next few years. What's important right now is that they're centered, in the middle of the head, and reasonably circular shaped. The sumi distribution is even from shoulder to tail on all of the Tancho Sankes. The body shape is good on all of them also. I do see an issue with this one right away, and we'll come back to it. This one looks excellent. Here is the problem we noticed on this one. He is emerging on the gill plates and on the pelvic fins. This will become a more severe demerit as the koi grows, so we'll eliminate it. And we're now left with 4. This one has a tiny bit of red showing on one scale. I don't consider it a problem at this age though. The red is very small and it's isolated to one scale. And the fish is showing no red or he in any of the fins or on the gill plates, so this one should stay. Now we can look at the Utsuris. The most common issue with Utsuris is the sumi, or black. It tends to scatter and freckle as the koi grows. The sumi type that travels with Utsuris tends to be the older charcoal type sumi. The lines between black and red tend to be blurry, not sharp like we like them. Two of the 3 of these Utsuris have older style sumi. This is the 3rd one. Notice the sumi is very different. It's modern and sharp and has a look of lacquer. Notice the difference in the fish though. It has a white belly. This is actually a Hishoa, or a shoa with excessive red patterning. To get sharp looking sumi, this is the fish I'll recommend though. Though it technically is not a Utsuri, it has more refined color characteristics, and it has the look of Utsuri. I found another choice from another tank here and pulled it up for a closer look. It's also a Hishoa. Notice the fins are white. The sumi is tidy and is showing no signs of freckling on the red. The mouth isn't showing any sumi yet, but this is a young fish. It will likely show up there in time. I don't consider any of these 4 Utsuris to be of showable quality. In the Utsuri class, the Shiro Utsuri is much more refined at this point, and very hard to compete with. These 4 Utsuris are more suitable for representing the colors red and black in ornamental ponds. Of the 4, I would personally choose the 2 Hishoas for their more refined color types. Winter is a time for repairing, rebuilding, and new construction, while everything here is slow or dormant. This is a new pond for growing Tosai and Denisai. In a later issue of Koi Fix, we'll show the construction of this pond from scratch. The farm ponds here don't have any koi in them this time of year, but they are being used by Mother Nature's other creatures. Do you recognize this mass of jelly? They're the eggs of the local spotted salamander. These neat amphibians come out of their underground burrows and lay their eggs here in midwinter, in the pools created by the winter's rains. These eggs will hatch, grow some, and crawl away before I'm ready to use this pond again. We've had some warm days here this week, and the next 3 days are expected to be warm also. The water temperature here is 56°F, so the fish are being fed a few pellets today, and we'll get a snack of green peas tomorrow. This is the first food they've had in several weeks, and they'll most likely go a few more weeks before they're fed again. In addition to the repairs, the new construction, and other winter work, I spend a lot of what I label as quality time, looking at koi to see how they are coming along, how they're developing, and if needed, I make changes in the spring. Changes to mud ponds, or changes to diet, or changes to parent stock. Everything is under constant refinement. Notes from all previous year's breedings can be compared, such as temperatures and pH readings during spawning, then during hatching, which fry were grown in which particular mud pond, what was added to those ponds throughout the seasons, and all of this information tells me what's working well and what's not working well. This female Showa is the baseline for the fish I label my New Age Showa. She's a building block where all of the elements I want to see in Showa come together. She's not the perfect package, not a show fish, but she carries in her genes what is needed for the future of my Showa. Refinements in coloration, in skin type, in quality of white, and in body shape. We'll take a closer look at her and the generation after her in a later issue. Sanke siblings, born in 2002, from the same mother but from different fathers. The characteristics and overall look are very different in each. I prefer this one. On the shoulder, though, there's a pattern break forming, separating the shoulder heel plate from the heel plate in the dorsal area. The separation is clean. If we look at the type of sashi or leading edge of the red pattern, we see that it's sharp and tidy everywhere on the koi, and the kiwa, or back edge of red patterning, is very sharp also. These characteristics tell us that the pattern break on this Sanke will be clean, rather than messy with muddy overlapping red and white scales. The problem, though, is the size of the pattern break and how it relates to the age and size of this koi. This is a male Sanke that is about 18 inches or 46 centimeters. At this age and size, this koi may not be capable of growing enough more to spread this pattern break out to a pleasing distance of separation. In other words, though a clean-looking break, it may always give the appearance of a defect. Details like this do affect sale price and the show future of a koi. As a breeder, though, I'm more interested in evaluating the quality and characteristics of the overall group. I want to see that the sumi is not collecting at the tail area of the fish, that there is quality sumi at the shoulder area, and that the colors are finishing well and the three colors are all in sync with each other in the timing of their development. A male showa born here in 2001, displaying the modern, refined color characteristics I like to see. They shine and glow as if the colors were sealed in epoxy, deep and thick. The sumi is sharp on the white and has no problem at all cutting through the red patterning with clean, sharp edging. A balanced and tight motoguru in the fins. Some of the winter chores here aren't so bad.